going, everybody? This is Martin Stokes here.
And this is Dean Scurry.
And I'm a traveller.
And I'm a countryman.
Welcome to A Traveller
And a Countryman
podcast.
Take these chains from my heart and set me free.
You've grown cold and no longer care for me. All my faith in you is gone, but the heartaches linger on. Take these chains from my heart and set me free. Take these tears from my eyes and let me see just a spark of the love that used to be.
I love you, Martin.
Then if you no longer care for the love that lingers there, take these chains from my heart and set me free.
Oh my God.
Cool, isn't it?
That's beautiful. I'm getting shivers.
Yeah.
Martin, I just want to say I love you.
Dean, that's not for you. That song was for my wife.
Oh, sorry. But, but when you were singing it, I was like, oh man, I'm so happy to be hanging out with you. So
You thought
happy
it was
to be
for
doing,
you, did you?
Yeah. I'm so happy to be doing a podcast with you.
Oh my God.
Episode 39. So I'm going to hand this over to you. This is your one. You introduce the whole episode. Go.
This is episode 39. What do I want to talk about, Dean? Did you mention
That should be the name. That should be the name of this podcast.
What do we want to talk
What do you want to
about?
talk about, Dean?
Come on, tell me what you want to talk about.
No, I don't want to talk about anything.
Do you know?
You have a
Can we
whole
go-
list in front of you there.
Can we go
that,
home?
Stuff that was in your head and you find it hard to get it out of your head. I wanted to ask you, how'd you get on a Knock? You went to Knock?
And Knock in County Mayo.
You went to Knock here. Why did travellers go to Knock? Is that what they learn how to fight?
Well, if they don't knock, they won't get in.
Hey, do you want to knock?
Dean, huh?
Do you want to knock?
No, the
Oh,
story
here,
is...
speaking about knocks, before you get into that, the two
Don't.
boys from Talking Bollox said that they'd have a knock off any other podcast duo in the country.
Yeah.
And I sent them a message going, boys, we'll take yous on. Me and Martin Stokes will knock lumps out of yous.
Tell them I'll fight them with love, not
Fight them
with
with love. They wouldn't even come back. They
No.
didn't have the bottle to come back.
No?
So, for the whole country, for all the travellers in Ireland, just so you know, Martin Stokes and Dean Scurry put it up to Terence and Calvin and they shot themselves.
Dean Scurry did. Martin Stokes didn't.
No, they shot themselves. You did put it up.
No, you put it up to them.
You
I
said you'd bait them with love.
I said fight them with love. Love, not glove.
I'll hug the bollocks out. Windbags.
Nah, they're all right. Nice lads.
Call themselves townies.
Yeah?
You couldn't box eggs.
Oh, my God.
So anyway, tell us about Knock.
Knock, Dean. I went down to Knock last Sunday, myself and the family, and it was Divine Mercy Sunday. So, what do you want to know about Knock? Tell me.
All right. Who went? How did you get there? Why do you go? Where is it? Who else was there? What do you do there? All that shit. I don't have a clue where it is or what you do or why you go. What you get out of it. But you seem to love it.
Yeah, absolutely. I love going to Knock. I go every year, sometimes twice a year. And it's in County Mayo. I'm sure there's a lot of people out there that knows where Knock is. It's a shrine, the national shrine where Our Lady appeared. And we go there every year, mainly on Divine Mercy Sunday. So basically we drive, bring the family with me.
Take the car.
It's in the car, yeah. It's a beautiful day out for anybody that would be interested in going there. I would recommend it to anybody, to be honest about it.
So you go down the Sunday morning?
We leave on Sunday morning we jump out around 7 anyway. And you get down there for, basically Mass starts, confessions first. Mass starts around 12.
So hold on. I'm going to take this really slow.
Dean, you asked the question,
You're
my
up
friend.
in the morning. You're excited. Everybody's ready from the night before.
I'm up at the crack of dawn and I'll throw the bacon on. That was a Marty Robbins one.
You're up early, you're up.
Yeah, we're up early.
5:30, quarter to
yeah,
6.
but you're prepared you're prepared in a couple of days beforehand anyway.
What are you prepared?
But you've made a decision on this weeks beforehand that you're going to Knock, me anyway, specifically. And then you're getting ready for a few days beforehand. Get your car ready, get to whatever if it needs a service or whatever bits and
Are
pieces.
you bringing packed lunch or anything
Check
like that?
the wheels. No, you basically be eating out on that day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Treat yourself that day.
Well, sort of, yeah. You'd head on down. It's about 3.5 hours drive.
As the car is full, people.
We would normally take a break in Longford.
But the car's full of people. There's
Yes,
you,
the family,
missus,
kids. But now we have 3 kids basically.
Yeah.
And my son, he drove his car down behind us also. Him and his wife basically.
Oh, very good. So 2 cars in a little convoy.
2 cars, yeah.
Yeah.
And we'd stop on Longford, have a bit of food on the way down, and then we'd head on to Knock because it's half the journey, you see.
Yeah. And you're excited.
Oh, that's the show I love. I'd go to Knock, as I'd nearly live in it, the best way of telling you, right? It's the same sort of experience for me as going to Medjugorje and Lourdes. Like, when I go to Medjugorje and Lourdes, we'd spend longer over there because, of course, you're in another country, like you're flying over there, you know.
And you're getting into the divinity of it, to the grace of it.
Yes, of course. And I look forward to every moment of it, being honest about it. Get down there, then get confessions, and then we would go into the church where Our Lady appeared. Our Lady appeared at the gable end of the old church. So what they done, they built a glass church over around the gable end onto the other church.
Very nice.
Have you ever been down there? No.
What's the name of that church?
Have you ever been down there?
I've never been there, but I think I might take a trip there this year.
Right.
If I get me camper on the road.
So basically, anyway, we would do the rosary, the 5 decades of the rosary, walking around that church. Now, it's 2 churches together now, but it's as if you were walking around one church.
So when you say we, I'm thinking in my head, there's your family, the 2 families together, but there's 1,000 other people.
There's loads of other people, loads and loads of other people there.
And there's people from around Ireland.
And all doing the same thing.
Black, white, tall, traveller.
There's people who come from
everybody.
There's actually people at this stage now. There's people who come from all over the world to it.
Because it's that weekend. It's the Divine Mercy.
That's
I got that right, Divine Mercy.
So even when Pope Francis was back, he visited there a few years ago when he was back here in Ireland. He visited Knock Shrine also, and he declared it an international, not just national, say for Ireland. It's an international shrine. So basically, he recommended for anybody from any part of the world to visit this shrine in Knock. It's like people come from Ireland, England, Spain, wherever, any part of the world, going to Lourdes.
Kind of Christian, Catholic kind of backgrounds.
You have all, say, nationalities, if you like.
Would you have different faiths?
Well, I'd imagine yes. A lot of you'd have a lot of different faiths, but of course they have their own beliefs in Our Lady and different beliefs in our Lord, that kind of, you know.
Yeah.
I don't go into other people's.
Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna ask you like the most random dumb questions because I haven't got a clue about it.
Yeah, ask what you want.
And give you some observations.
Like, ask whatever you want. If there's an answer there, I'll give it to you. Okay, I won't charge you for it.
I think I'm blown away by your faith, by your belief, by the grace that you have in all of this. And I'm sure other people are, and I'm sure there's other people going, I'm not really into that. But I was talking to a mate of mine recently, and he said, for want of a better phrase, he found Jesus. Yes. And it reminded me of you. You're kind of in that. And like I talk to people around you, and they're kind of in that all the time as much as possible. And in my experience in Ireland, for example, you're kind of, most people are into that, or in that, or, you know, go to mass and do all that type of stuff when they're young, up until the age of 10, 11, 12, 13. Yeah. And then people start to fade out of it. But it looks like for me, the traveller culture, and especially you, this is you all your life.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
This is you, bread and butter, morning, noon and night.
It's
no matter where you are in the world, you're in this.
It literally is my life, being honest and truthful about it. I let's say I pray every single day without fail. I used to go to mass every single morning. I can't say that I do that right now because I sometimes fall back a little bit. Do you know what I mean?
Well, you've got family commitments.
I get you might say I get a little bit despondent, like, you know what I mean? And it annoys me because where I want to be is in the church. I want to be in that church, going to mass, receiving the body of Christ, giving thanks to Jesus and our Blessed Lady. Also, of course, asking for favours, without a doubt. Offered my prayers and my intentions and my petitions at all times.
And it's kind of like you're being washed with it all the time.
I never, ever, ever forget to say thanks. Never. I always go back and say thanks, no matter what. I will always say thanks, because you can't just approach our Lord and Our Lady and go to the church and be always asking, always wanting. That time when you don't need or you don't want, that would be a great time to go and say, thank you, Jesus. Thank you to our Blessed Mother. Thank you, God, our Almighty Father. Thank you for everything in my life.
Not only when you're in desperate need of it.
Yes, exactly. When you're feeling good, go and say thanks. And of course, at times, if you're feeling bad, still say thanks. But
Give thanks and praise to the Lord.
yeah,
And I will feel all right.
Bob Marley, yes, very
Whoa,
good.
whoa.
That's a good song there.
Marley had the message.
Yeah, he was sending the message out, wasn't he? Very strong through his music, see, because music goes worldwide. But anyway, yeah, Dean, that's why I like doing it. I don't like doing it just for the sake of, as a fellow would say, I don't just like do it for the pat on the shoulder.
Doing it for the points.
Or just to hear myself talking, or just to say that I've actually done something. No, that is not me. This is me, and it comes from the inside. Absolutely. I know what I feel, and I know where to go, basically, which is the church for me. I find a lot of consolation, a lot of peace. Like if I times I'd as probably all people do, I'd feel down and out kind of, and once I get to the church and say receive the body of Christ, I feel like the happiest, luckiest, strongest, most powerful man alive. But it's hard for me to explain that in better ways. I can't explain that, because
for me, it's kind of like
that's me inside, on my inner peace.
I was saying that you kind of like you go and get washed by it, but it's kind of like you're replenishing the well, right?
Yes.
That you're going back into the grace of it, into the divinity of it. And without sounding like what you don't do is you don't Bible bash, you don't preach too much, although you did try and convert me a couple of times.
No, I'll tell you what I would like to do. You're right, I don't Bible bash, I don't go around trying to be a preacher or this or that or the other, because sometimes it's actually hard. But I think sitting down sometimes and having a chat with somebody, and I'm not saying like try to convert them, but open their eyes up a little bit. Maybe there's times when people need to hear someone talk, or they need to hear certain topics, or maybe a little bit about the Word of God, and it can change a person's life without a doubt.
I'm living up in the Cooley Peninsula, right, and I find it a very spiritual place. And I was reading through a book there by John Creedon, and it was all little short stories, and one of them was a short story about holy wells. And he said, like, there was one short story, if you have, like, itchy eyes or whatever like that, you wash your face in the well.
It's like the cure, basically.
Yeah. You go back every 3 days, bring something down with you, like a penny or something like that, throw it in the well, wash your face with the well for 3 days, and it'll be gone. So I was looking at that going, I wonder if there's a well around here. And there's a place called Ladies Well.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
St. Bridget's Stream. It's in Dundalk.
This is where Joe Biden's family, right beside the graveyard where Joe Biden's family was.
Right.
So I went and cycled there the other day, and I went down, and I'm getting a shiver now talking about it.
Is that in Dundalk, actually? You're talking about what you're saying?
It's up, it's on the Cooley Peninsula. It's on the way to Carlingford. Yeah?
Yes, come on.
So anyway, I found this place.
It's not St. Jude's Shrine, is it?
No, this is called the Ladies' Well.
Is that the name of it?
Yeah.
It's not on the main road, is it?
No, it's not on the main road.
There's St. James's Well is on the main road.
No, this is...
If you go from Dundalk to Carlingford,
yeah,
St. James's Well is on the main road.
So if you go from Dundalk to Carlingford, this is on the main road as well. But it's before you turn off for Carlingford.
Right.
Yeah? It's about, say, 15 kilometres down that road.
Yeah.
But anyway, I cycled. And lovely country roads. As I said, I'm getting shivers now talking about it, because I went down to the well and I got a moment of peace. I got a moment of relax. You know the way you're all in your head all the time?
So what drew you to the well?
Because I was reading a chapter in this book by John Creedon.
And it got your attention, did it?
Me and my mate were chatting about it. He's at the Finding Jesus, and he said, oh, look at this. So, I had a bit of hay fever, and the story was talking about, if you have itchy eyes, go down and wash your face in the well
Very good.
for 3 days. So anyway, I went down and I found the well, and there was a little fella down there, and he was tending to the area around it. You know what I mean? Getting the weeds up and
Keeping things tidy.
keeping it lovely and tidy.
Beautiful.
So there's a little gate. You go through the gate, and there's a little passage. Then there's another little steel gate.
Is it like you're walking out through a field, kind of?
Yeah, it's right in a field.
Yeah, I know it.
It's right in a field.
I know it, but I don't know the name of it.
Oh, this is good. So it's called the Ladies' Well.
Yes.
Yeah. So anyway, you open the little gate and you turn, and there's a statue of Mary or Our Lady there.
That's right.
Surrounded by trees.
Yes.
And there's a little well.
It's lovely, isn't it?
Oh, it's beauty. It's a beauty.
It's actually peaceful alone, even.
Just come down it. That's all it is.
That's
a little
right.
bit of peace in your mind,
Yeah.
in your body. You can feel it. And it's not Bible bashing. It's not preachy. It's not superior. It's not I'm better than you. It's a moment of peace.
Yes.
And So I went and done, remember me, you and Richie were talking about medicine, the ayahuasca stuff.
Yeah, I wouldn't be into that.
I went and done it.
You did this right.
With a lady from Peru. And in that journey, on that medicine, with people in the room, I met Mary, or Mary came to me.
Yes.
Yeah? In the veil, in the, you know the one where she has the image where she has the blue veil?
Yes.
That image. And she hugged me and she gave me a little kiss. And she said, you're home. And that's the feeling I got when I went down to the Ladies' Well.
Did you?
Yeah, you're home.
So basically, what's happening here, so is it looks like you're getting a little bit of change in your life, but it's a slow steps.
Absolutely not. I'm extremely, probably a strong word, I'm very spiritual. I've always been very spiritual.
Yeah.
I used to be very religious. And I wanted to be...
Right, I have a question for you then.
Okay, I was an altar boy and I wanted to be a priest. But between the jigs and the reels and stuff that happened in my community in the 80s in Ballymun...
You lost it all.
That's not the journey I went on. I went on a different journey, or my own journey. But I've always been connected to the universal spiritual energy.
Okay. Do you think if you're on your own in this world, basically... and that you have no belief on anything, right, which some people don't. I'm not judging anybody, I'm just simply saying, do you think you can make it on your own in this world?
What do you mean by make it?
That you can be, that you can get through this like without problems or without being...
I don't think anybody gets through this without problems.
Yeah, I understand that, yeah. But if you didn't have something to turn to or something to rely on that you didn't believe in... how do you think it would be?
I think people on their own journey, and everyone has their own journey, believe in the things that they believe in. For some people, it's God. For other people, it's money. For other people, it's property. For other people, it's power. Everyone has their thing that they believe in. That is the thing for them. For me, when I was very young, I got a really clear message from the universe to say that you are part of this. This is part of you, and it's all one continuous thing.
Okay. What was that drew you to that well?
I think when I had the experience on the ayahuasca, and at a moment when I was feeling very afraid and alone and disconnected and vulnerable, Mary came to me and she said, you're all right. I'm your mother and you're home.
That's right, absolutely.
That was it. That's what I got.
So when you went to the well then, did you believe that your eyes could be healed?
Did I believe that my eyes could be healed?
Or did you just
I
think...
kind of had a couple of moments going, am I getting a bit Jesus-y here? Or, you know what I mean? Is this getting a bit holy moly? But then I just...
Why were you afraid of that?
A little bit self-conscious of it. But then I just...
You were afraid of it, were you?
Yeah, a little bit self-conscious
You're
of
afraid
it.
of just getting holy, yeah.
It's getting a bit...
So why were you afraid of getting holy? Tell me that. Were you afraid of what your friends might think?
Because there's a version of holy that there's a very nice version of spiritual and holy that I experienced when I was younger. And then it got a bit corrupted along the way. And not just in my life, in a lot of people's lives.
Yeah, but now, what about now?
Oh, okay, so this is why I had that feeling. I'm trying to explain it in a way that I don't want to sound too church bashy. I don't want to be bashing the church.
No.
But in this community, there were a number of experiences that people had in churches and Magdalene laundries and industrial schools with the church that corrupted that message for me and for thousands of people. And you go on a journey then throughout your life, throughout your 20s, 30s, 40s. I'm nearly 50 now. So I'm looking at my life from a different perspective. I'm not 14, 15, 16 anymore.
Yeah.
So when I went down there, I got a little bit of that fear, but then I closed my eyes, took a deep breath, looked Mary straight in the eyes and said, I'm okay with this. I'm okay with this. I'm okay with the fact that maybe the literal word that was written down in the Bible that was preached to me in a church, maybe that's not the exact route that I have to go down. Maybe it's more connected to the mother energy, the mother earth, the mother Mary energy in the world. You know what I mean?
Yes.
And there's multiple names, I think, for Mother Mary. You know what I mean?
But you are Catholic, aren't you? You were raised Catholic.
Yeah. Now, okay. So, like most Irish people, you're kind of baptised without having a choice, without having a conversation.
Obviously, you're an infant, yeah.
Yeah. So, and then I went and voluntarily became an altar boy. But then, at about the age of 12, my ma handed me a book from a different set of beliefs, a different religion. And I went, oh, so there's different stories. There's different ways to tell different stories. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I just think, like I've asked you this before, if a Muslim man or a Hindu man or a whatever woman came up to you, you would have the same conversations and understanding and relationship with them, regardless of their faith.
Yeah, they'd have their religion, I'd have mine, and their beliefs, and I'd have mine. I wouldn't have no reason to try to, I'd maybe try to understand their ways,
Yeah.
but I wouldn't try to change their ways.
So for me, there's many ways to the top of the mountain. We're all going home somewhere.
Yeah, that's true.
We came from somewhere and we're going back to home.
But sometimes it's nice to, well, I personally think anyway, as I believe in God, I think so it's great to have somebody to believe in, someone to turn to.
Yes, and as I said, it could be...
Some people don't have that.
It could be, okay, and we live in a world where there's material things that you can believe in, like the fast cars, like the big houses.
Yeah.
And I think we all at some point go on that journey going,
yeah, but
if I only had this, if I was only 6 inches taller, if I only lived in a different area, I can believe in this and this can make me better, But inevitably...
all of this material stuff is only a temporary happiness, no matter what.
It's only temporary.
We have to have something that comes from inside that we can really build strength on, and something to fall on that we know is not just a temporary happiness. It's a lifetime thing to stay with us always.
And I think something that we can connect with, that we're part of and is part of us. That's one of the big things I got when I looked at that statue. This statue and my fears around it are part of me and I am part of it.
Yes.
It's all one thing. And that's where I got that sense that I know that you have, that sense of grace. That all the ups and downs,
sense of belief.
Yeah, all the ups and downs, all the trials and tribulations.
Yeah,
that's all part of it.
That's right, absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Now, as I said, when I go to Knockin, anyway, we go around that church. Now, you might sometimes walk around that church 5 or 6 times before you get to finish your full rosary, basically. And then we go into the old church. The church that we walked around, basically. We went to the old side of it.
The original part where Mary appeared.
Where Our Lady appeared was at the gable end of the church. She was at the gable end of the church, but they built a new, like a glass church over that.
So there's a few little questions before you go into it. Would you call Our Lady or Mary, or do you have different names? Or
Our Lady.
Mother of Mercy.
I have loads of names for her.
Divine Mother of Mercy.
I tell you how I get around to that, right? If I'm praying, I could mention Our Lady's name maybe 20 times in my prayers, and I could describe her as a different name, maybe not 20 names, but every time. Our Lady Queen of Heaven and Earth, Our Lady Queen of Peace, Our Lady Mother of Mercy, Our Lady Queen of the Home, Our Lady of Knock, Our Lady of Lourdes, Our Lady of Medjugorje, Our Lady of All Nations, Our Lady of Fatima.
Mother Mary.
Mary is our mother, Our Lady Mother of Mercy. When I say Mother of Mercy, she's our mother, yes, absolutely. So I can use, I would pronounce her name in a lot of different ways, depending on where my prayer is leading me. Like I would do a lot of, you might call it a lot of random prayer. Like a lot of prayer that would come from myself, basically, not prayers that I've learned.
Yeah, just okay. Oh, great.
So
okay,
within all of that, if I spent like just say a half an hour praying random prayer, that's me like basically connecting with Our Lady.
it's not something that you've learned. It's just something that you feel.
No, it's something that comes from
And
within.
you say it at times that's not necessarily, okay, this is prayer time. You could be driving down the road. You could be
Yes.
making a sandwich.
Yes, and all that random prayer will come to my mind. Like for instance, if I in the mornings, like I have a little I won't call it an altar. It's like a little shrine there with all Our Lady's statues and Our Lord's statues and all the different types of blessed statues. Yeah, and I'll kneel before them and I'll do maybe say half an hour prayer, but every time is not always the same. I would come up with all different types of prayers in every. It's just what comes to my head, basically. In Thanksgiving and also.
Depending on where you're at, what you've experienced that day or that week or.
Yeah, so if I'm praying to Our Lady, as I said, I can mention her name, I can describe her name in maybe so different many ways.
So would she be the main.
Unintentionally,
Would
basically.
she be the main person that you would pray to?
Yeah, I'd pray a lot to Our Lady, yeah.
Yeah.
To Jesus. You see, we have the Holy Trinity, the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. And it's a mystery. The mystery is that the Mother of God is also the Mother of Jesus. Yeah? So then we have the Holy Spirit. So Father, Son, and Holy Spirit, Holy Trinity, true God, one man, basically. But you have to believe that. I could tell you this all day probably, and you mightn't understand it.
No, I definitely do understand it.
The fact is, there's millions of people who don't understand it.
Yeah.
How can God, how can Jesus, how can the Holy Spirit be one person? Yes, the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. So Jesus is the second person in the Holy Trinity.
Yeah, no, I get it. It's not like I don't get it.
It's good.
I also have what I think is an expanded or a different or an alternative explanation or my version of it, or the version that works for me, as I'm sure not every Catholic or Christian has exactly the same understanding. And if you match that with other religions and people who are non-religious, there's 1,000,001 ways to skin a cat.
Yeah.
But the cat is getting skinned.
That's right.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it doesn't really matter.
No, absolutely.
It doesn't really matter.
Everybody is different.
There's many ways to the top of that mountain.
We're all going down the one road, basically, if you like, in that sense.
I think we're all going home, regardless of whether or not your God is Ferraris or, Buddha. It doesn't matter. Eventually, I think.
But see, if we
through
don't
the jigs and
believe,
the reels. Yeah, but eventually, no matter where you are, I think you have to get to a point where you have that moment, that reflection. And I know that there are people who come into this life and come out of this life without having that moment. But the way I see it is, eventually they're going to have to.
Yeah. Well, if they haven't got the sense of seeing where they came from or where they're going to, and if they don't believe, as I said, I'm not dissing people here. If they don't believe in God, who do they believe in, or what do they believe in? Like, God created the entire world.
Yes, in your understanding, in your belief.
Yes.
So there's a man standing beside you and his belief is A, B and C.
Yeah.
And I think what I've noticed with you is you're all right with his stuff.
I'm good with that, yeah.
You're good with his stuff.
Absolutely.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And he's generally not saying, hold on here, Martin. Because I seen it. I was at speakers.
I have no plans of changing the channel, put it away.
Yeah, your channel is whatever, 98 FM. Another fella is on Spin, but everyone's listening to the radio.
That's right, yeah.
So I went to Speaker's Corner. I probably talked about this before. I was in London and I went to Speaker's Corner at the side. I think it's Regent Park or probably one of the other parks. But anyway, there was 500 people there of all different backgrounds, conversating and arguing and shouting and listening to each other about all types of stuff, but mainly religion. And it was fascinating to hear. and it was refreshing to see people being all right with other people's position.
Yeah, absolutely. Why not? Let's say you might say you're entitled to believe in what you want to believe in, but just hope that you're believing in the right thing. That's all.
Yes, you believing in the right thing, and the right thing is whatever is right for you.
Yeah.
You have a problem with that a little bit, because if it's not what you believe,
I don't have a problem with people's religion. Absolutely not.
no, you have a problem with if they don't believe what you believe in.
I know. I think we talked a little bit about this before, where people don't believe in anything at all.
Yeah.
I'd say that'd be a problem. I can almost guarantee that's a problem.
Yes, but let's say somebody is reading page 12 and you're reading page 13, but it's the same story.
Yeah.
Are you all right with that? That's what I'm saying. There's a little thing in there with you.
Yeah. Well, anyway, we're going too deep into that now.
We're not going too deep in it.
No,
I think we're just on the cusp of it. I think
I don't want to be.
I think that you would love them to read the same page as you, but you're all right with them not.
Yeah, but maybe they'd like the same thing from me then, wouldn't they?
Yeah.
If they believe in something, and it's something different to what I believe in, which is God, maybe they'd probably like if I would believe in what they believe in. But if they're okay with it, then I'm okay with it.
Done. That's it. That's it.
And
shouldn't be. That's a little bit of tolerance
it's not
then.
a problem for me anyway. But I'm happy doing what I'm doing.
Yeah.
Very happy, to be honest, truthful about it.
So in my head, you and your family are doing the rosary around the church.
Yes.
And you're walking around it, and it's a sunny day.
Yeah.
And it's slow.
Picture that.
And you're saying it out loud or in your head?
I know, you won't be shouting because you get
What are you talking it out?
You get run out of the church, around the grounds.
Would you?
No, there's no need to, because obviously you'd be disturbing other people's prayer as well.
So were they all walking around the church
People
together?
all walking around the church, yeah.
Yeah.
And
on the outside?
On the outside of the church, yeah. And basically you're doing the rosary then, and when you finish the rosary then we would...
Who's leading the rosary?
Well, myself and my wife, it makes a difference.
Very good.
Two of us do it the same way because we're doing it now. We're 32 years doing it together now, so we are.
So, excuse my naivety, but what makes up the the rosary?
The rosary?
Yeah.
Well, the rosary is, there's 5 decades of 10 Hail Marys.
Okay, so there's 10 Hail Marys. Hail Mary, full of grace, blah, 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 blah. Sorry.
You're starting off with, I believe, it would say, you bless your face first, of course.
Yeah.
Father, Son, and Holy Spirit. Then you go into, say, your Father, and I believe in God, the Father Almighty, the Creed.
Yeah.
And then you're doing the Glory be to the Father, and then you're into the first decade.
Yeah.
And you're doing the Fatima prayer. Then you're into the first decade then, and you're doing 10 Hail Marys. Then you get to the big beads again.
So you're doing it on your beads.
You do the Our Father.
Yeah.
The Glory be to the Father, and the Fatima prayer again. Oh my Jesus, forgive us our sins. And then you're on to, it's a repeat.
Yeah.
You're repeating that 5 times. 5 decades of 10 Hail Marys.
5 decades of the rosary.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
and
altogether you're doing like 50 Hail Marys.
Because I remember doing it loads when I was a kid.
It's brilliant.
At a certain point, few things happen. One is it almost becomes like a little mantra.
Yeah.
And you're almost not even cutting the words.
Yeah.
You're just cutting the hum of it.
Yeah.
The sound of it, the feel of it.
It's very, very good. I think when you pay, the more attention you pay to it, the more powerful it is.
And I think sometimes you get lost in it, and then sometimes you don't know where you are.
No, I'll tell you what can happen. It happens to absolutely anybody. If you're in prayer, even in a church, there's times there when you just you might get distracted by something.
Yes.
And your mind drifts.
I love those little moments.
But you're jumping you're looking back to where
you're looking at a leaf blown across or something.
Yeah,
like
that kind of thing. It happens to absolutely anybody. It even happens to priests and all. But anyway, we do the rosary anyway, and then we go into the small church, and we say we'll light some candles in there, and we'll do the Divine Mercy Chaplet. Now that's similar to the rosary. You use the same beads, same rosary beads, and you're doing same again 10 decades, 5 decades of 10 prayers again, and it's it'll be for the release of the souls in purgatory, and for, say, God to send His mercy down upon us. So it's very, it's a bigger story than that. There's a lot more explained to do. But I'm just
what's the difference between the rosary and the chaplet?
The rosary and the chaplet would be, Your rosary, you're praying directly to Our Lady. Your chaplet, you're praying to Jesus for His mercy.
Okay, so the prayer is similar, but it's directed to
You're
a
using the
different...
same beads,
Yeah.
but you're directing the chaplet. It's called the Chaplet of Divine Mercy to Jesus, asking for Him to bestow His mercy upon ourselves and upon the whole world. For the sake of His sorrowful passion, have mercy on us and on the whole world. So your prayer is going to God, but it's about Jesus. And basically, it's very powerful, being honest about it. There's a 3 o'clock prayer there also, you can say every day at 3 o'clock. Like I intend to do the Divine Mercy every day at 3 o'clock, no matter where I am. If I'm driving, I click straight onto the phone and get on the phone and do my Divine Mercy chaplet with the phone, basically. So it's as if the phone is holding the rosary beads for me.
Oh, very good. Yeah.
Do you understand?
Yeah.
I know that might sound silly.
No,
but
you're walking or you're driving.
I'm driving, my hands on the steering wheel and moving the
yeah.
gears. So really, I can't hold the beads. So I click onto the YouTube.
Could you get steering wheel with beads on it?
Get to the. I've never.
I'm sure people have them.
I've never tried, but I'm happy enough doing what I'm doing. Like, you know what I mean?
That's a little idea. I have the steering wheel with rosary beads all the way around.
Yeah, it'd be nice. But anyway, that's the story there with that little chapel there. Then.
So what time do you go into that?
Depending on what time you get down there.
Yeah. Is there a number of those masses that day?
My aim would be to be in Knock for around 11.
And is there a number of masses that
quarter
day?
to 11. Yeah, there's a couple of masses.
Oh, very good.
There's at least 3 masses, but you're guaranteed to get 2 of them. So then you have the main big mass at 3 o'clock. It's in the big.
So you do the decade, the chaplet. You go inside. There's a mass.
Yeah. So before you know it, your big mass is starting. So you'll be in the church, like you're finishing up at 2:30 to get into the big church.
Okay, so you're doing it again. You're going for it.
No, what's happening here is just I explained about the 2 churches.
Yeah.
Now then we're going into the big church. Is the basilica. It's a massive, massive, massive church.
And that's there on the grounds as well, is it?
There's all little chapels in the church. When I say little chapels, like all sections.
Yeah.
So everybody's looking down at the altar. And it's absolutely adorable. And so the priest does mass there then, and then they give the anointing of the sick also, before or after the mass. Generally before the mass.
So the sick turn up, say, whatever, an elderly woman in a wheelchair.
No, you don't have to be on a wheelchair.
But you know what I mean? Whoever's sick.
Yeah, but people don't just have physical problems.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
They might have mental problems also.
So you could go up yourself and go,
anything.
I'd like to be anointed.
I take a blessing any time. I take 100 blessings a day if I get them. Every blessing I get makes me stronger. It makes me a better person. So yeah, I would generally go up and take the blessing and take the anointing. Absolutely. Why not?
The basilica is beside the smaller churches.
No, the smaller churches are one side.
Yeah.
And about, say, less than 100 yards across the big park. It's lovely.
Oh my God.
You have the basilica is massive. Like this basilica holds thousands and thousands and thousands of people.
I'm taking a trip down there.
Yeah, you should do.
I love those big churches.
Yeah, you should go down there. It's a day out for you and the wife and the kids and the whole lot anyway.
The girlfriend.
Whatever, and your father and mother if you want. Bring everybody. Bring as many people as you can.
Martin.
So we're here because Martin told us.
MartinConverts.com.
But beautiful day. Every time I go down there, I absolutely enjoy myself to the max. And all my family does. Yeah. Sometimes things are so nice you can hardly find the words to explain how good it is, like, you know. But that's for me. And I hope everybody has the same experience when they go down there. There's be a lot of people at it. A lot of people from the travelling community goes there. They would go there very regular. And then you'd have thousands of settled people going to it from all over. Absolutely all over. But then you'd leave there then, and like I'd linger out for the last minute there, try to get as much time as I can, and they're all saying to me, "Do you want to go? When are you ready? I'll just carry on."
And are you chatting to people, or are you just?
No, I don't find a lot of time for chatting because
you're just in the
I go
the
there
feeling of it.
Purely. I go to Knock for the main reason is to give thanks to Our Lady for my family and for everything in our lives. Absolutely. That would be my main intentions of going to Knock. Is to purely give thanks.
And what's your mood like? You're happy?
Oh
Are
yeah,
you-
beautiful. It's like you give me an injection and a happy injection. It's what you call it, an adrenaline. Is it?
Yeah.
Oh man, an adrenaline. Is it?
Adrenaline kick, yeah.
Yes. You can't put me into a better place. So if you want me in good mood every single day, bring me to Knock, bring me to Lourdes, bring me to Medjugorje, bring me all these holy places. And that's my life basically. Happy is I couldn't describe how happy. Should I be talking for days and days after the good time that I had in Knock, and that's how nice it is. No, but the one thing I do, all right, I go when I finish up all our prayers, and we go in and we get like special masses done for our families, friends, relatives, all around. Like, you know what I mean? You don't have to send them to them, or you don't have to post these cards to them. Like, I'd go in there and I'd get masses done for, just say, all the O'Donnells and Nevin families, just say. Then I get some done for all the Stokes families and McDonough families.
What do you mean you get a mass done?
It's you pay them basically,
Yeah.
and they give you out this mass card.
Right.
Now, you don't have to take their mass card. You can let them keep it if you want to, but some of them we do.
Yeah.
And then say, whoever you want to get these masses done for, anybody, no matter who. Can be Mahons, can be McDonough's, can be whatever names. It makes no difference. And they'll write these names on a card. But you can say to them, okay, I'll bring this card or I'll leave it there. Sometimes I bring them and sometimes I don't.
Yeah. So it's like when
So
you
there's
light a
mass
candle
done
for
then.
somebody.
So every morning,
Yeah.
for a full month, these names are mentioned in the early
Very good.
in the early morning masses. Like, we'd like to pray for, again, I said McDonough
Mahon family,
family,
the
Stokes
Stokes'
family.
families.
I'm only using these names,
Yeah.
but generally who I would get them done for would be likes of Stokes family, McDonough's families, O'Donnell families, Nevin families. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So then what I would do then,
You didn't mention my family there.
No, I was just getting down to this. what I would generally do then is I'd get a mass done for all friends, families, relatives, people who ask me to pray, people who need prayers, people who don't know how to pray sometimes, people who I've maybe forgot to pray for, who have asked me in the past, like that kind of thing. So I'm trying my best to cover everybody here.
So they put an airport down there.
That's right, yeah.
What's the crack with that?
I don't know. I never went down to visit. I went to visit Knock. I went to visit.
Did
Our
you not
lady.
fly down?
No, I wouldn't be interested in flying. Small flights means small planes, and small planes are very
You
dangerous.
should say a prayer if you grant.
No, I would. Yeah, I'd say the rosary the whole way down. I actually done it one time. Come back from Birmingham.
Well,
I went to Birmingham one time. Me and a cousin of mine, and we got the plane. Yeah, we got the plane over, and the weather was fine. And we were like, I think we were a day and a half or 2 days over it anyway. Whatever, just say 2 days. And we decided we were going to head back to that night. And we did. But there was such it was only a short flight, basically. So there wasn't many passengers booked on, so they used a smaller plane. This is probably the smallest plane that I have ever been on. Right? So then what happens then, we take off anyway, and the weather was, a bit like bad enough kind of. But when we got up into the sky, wow. The weather was tumbling this little plane.
turbulence.
Oh yeah, no, this was more than turbulence. I've been through turbulences, but this was more than turbulence. This was bad weather. So I prayed all the way home.
In a little 6-seater.
A little small plane, seriously, very small.
Propellers on it, or
This, well, it was a plane, like.
yeah, but they don't all have, like the props.
No,
The
this
ones you
truck
can
was.
see.
I don't know. I could be guessing wrong, but I'd say this plane probably holds maybe 50 people.
Were you ever on one that has the props, like the propellers that you can see going around, as opposed to like a jet engine?
No, I know what you're talking about. This could have been one of them, but it was pitch dark.
Oh, yeah. You
So
didn't
I
see it
couldn't
when you
see
got on it
much.
or whatever. You'd kind of notice when you're getting on it. You
Yeah.
go, I'm not getting on that plane.
Wind, rain, you name it. It was very, very, very bad. And I think what made it worse was the fact it was a smaller plane also.
Why would that make
Because it was
bad?
easier. It was easy to,
Or you could knock it around like
yeah.
you felt the wind and the
Basically,
and
it
the
was
rain.
happening. Yeah, it was getting through all over the place.
I'm sure if it goes down, it doesn't matter what size it is.
It doesn't, but it has a better chance of not going down. It's a better chance of fighting the weather if it's a big, massive plane. Big, strong, heavier plane. What?
So the metal is the same metal.
Well, let's put it this way. If Tyson Fury would give Deontay Wilder a punch,
Yeah.
yeah, he won't go down, will he? If he gives me or you a punch, we're gone down.
I'll go down
'Cause
before he punches me.
Because I'm a lightweight, I go down quicker than you. I wish. But anyway, that was something to crack there.
So you never fly down to Knock, no?
So I wouldn't fly to Knock, no.
No.
Because they use very small planes.
Yeah. So have you got is there a phobia here?
There's no phobia. When I get into a plane, it takes me a little while to settle. Now, of course, we fly to Lords, we fly to Medjugorje. I have flown to England a few times in the bigger planes. Say the, what do you call it, Ryanair, yeah?
Ryanair's, yeah.
Yeah. And I've basically, first of all, when I get into the plane, I find it hard to get to, say, get that big deep breath that I need, kind of, you know what I mean? So I'm just sitting there and I'm trying not to, I don't mean panic. I don't generally panic, right? But I'm trying to suss myself out here, right? So I'm just not concentrating on who's talking or who's saying what. I'm not interested in that.
You're trying to stay focused.
I'm hopefully looking for
You're hoping the plane doesn't take off.
for the seat beside not beside the window, basically, out further on the corridor, basically, if you like.
In the oil, yeah.
The aisle, yeah. So now I'm getting the sort of feel of it then, haven't I? And then
You have the sus on the plane, like.
no, but the thing about it is the plane sometimes could take maybe 10 or 15 minutes before it takes off. So now I have the feel of the plane now and I'm comfortable now at this stage. So then when the plane revs up these engines, you obviously know the sound of these engines, don't you? You hear them miles away. And that's where this bit of scary part comes in. Yes. So that's where you're bracing yourself, know what I mean?
You're holding on to the seat.
And that's where the rosary beads is out. Oh yeah, without a doubt.
Excuse me, Mr. Stokes. Please put your rosary beads away.
I've never been on a plane yet I didn't pray. Honestly, yeah. Now I obviously have great faith, there's no doubt about that. And I genuinely believe that nothing is going to go wrong. I can't dispute that. But yet, that bit of fear comes into you for some reason.
That breath, that bead of sweat going down your forehead.
No, I wouldn't really sweat like that, like I'd be that scared, like. I think it happens to everybody. I think everybody gets that bit of, maybe not nervousness, but that sort of tense
Up until you hear
kind of feeling.
Up until you hear the engines, you don't kind of actually realise I'm going to be 40,000 feet in the air in about 3 seconds.
Yeah. Did you ever find the plane where, the planes, you know the speed they do in the air, don't you? Some of them are doing 500 miles an hour. Did you ever know that?
I'd say they're doing even more than that.
Yeah, well, they're doing that anyway. That was the last time I was on a plane. I don't know what. They probably brought the Ferrari out since that. But I remember one time coming back from. This is probably one of the best flights I've had. We went to Lords back in 19. It wasn't 93. It was after that again. And it was 1996 when we went to Lords. Yeah, and on our way home, say come back from Lords, they announced that there was a new. I think it was a new jumbo jet or something they called it at the time. There was some name for it anyway. And it was massive. This plane was the biggest plane that I was ever on. There was actually, now how you have 2 aisles on the plane, there was 3 aisles on the plane. But the middle aisle was something like 6 seats.
5 or 6 seats. I've been on ones that he had 2 floors. I think I flew Virgin Atlantic to New York and it had 2 floors.
That's right, yeah. Yeah.
Upstairs and downstairs.
That's right, yeah.
Showers, bedrooms, the whole
I've
lot.
never been on one, but I know, I've heard that they're out there. But anyway, the plane that we were on, there was, say how you have your average plane, they walk from the front to the back basically, but then there was another door where they go out again to another
Another cabin.
No, even bigger again. Yeah, well, I could call it a cabin, yeah.
Yeah.
Another aisle, another rows of seats again. Same exact thing. It was massive. But anyway, it took off and they announced that they were doing just a little over 500 miles an hour in the air. And also that it was the first time, this plane was ever travelling. Basically, and we were the first people on it at the time.
So did you feel nervous or privileged?
No, I didn't feel nervous because I thought the fact that the plane was actually massive, we had a lot more
better chance of survival.
A comfortable flight, yeah.
Yeah.
And even the landing, the landing itself.
Yeah, it's like a cushion of air.
Was absolutely brilliant.
When you're in a little...
it was probably the best flight I've ever had. Now, I can't complain about flights, only that one I was telling you about where I went to come back from Birmingham. All flights, you're going to get a bit of, like the landing is not going to be the smoothest.
Would you sit at the, where they have the wing and you have those emergency doors?
No, I don't actually panic that much.
No, but would you sit at them?
Come here, if I was that worried, then I'd have no faith. Honestly, genuinely.
No, I'm not asking you that. I'm asking you, if they said, Martin...
Yeah, but you're like saying to me...
Your seat is at the door.
Would I just normally do it?
Yeah.
I wouldn't have a problem with that.
You wouldn't have a problem with it, because loads of people get freaked out there.
No, I'll tell you what I like. I like behind the wings, basically.
Okay, yeah. Not the front of the plane.
I think... No, not the front of the plane, because...
That's going to hit the ground
That's
first.
the ones hitting the ground first. In a landing like them, God forbid anything else, like, you know what I mean?
The plane has exploded even before it hit the ground.
God forbid. But I find it more comfortable. Anywhere behind the wings, I'm easy with that.
Yeah.
Because I think you don't find the pressure of your landing, basically, if you like. Do you know if that makes any sense?
It does make sense, but it's not true.
No, but to me, I'm happy that...
You're in a big comfortable seat with a seatbelt on.
I'm happy enough to believe it as true, so I'm okay with that. Yeah. But other than that, no, I have no problem flying. But I do think, I don't care what anybody says, I do think that every time a person gets on a plane, there's that little bit of nervousness there. Now, I remember one time I was listening to a thing on, I think it was on the radio actually, years ago. And there was this, they had a topic about flights and who's afraid to fly and why would you be afraid and all this carry on. And one man said, I'm a businessman, he said, and I travel every single day, he said, on the plane. And he said, there hasn't been one time, he said, that I wasn't nervous. Not even one time, he said. But yet, he said, I'd fly next day, I'd fly the day after, I'd fly every single day, he said, because that was the job that he was in. But he said, I have to say...
Every time those... engines
every single
roar.
time, yeah. He said every single time I feel that little bit nervous.
I get it. But I also know people who have no fear of planes, but have, like my girlfriend, no fear of planes. She's actually grand, but a boat or a ship.
Serious.
And she'll bleed and shite herself.
I have no problem with a boat or a ship.
Like if you had a little boat, like a little rowing boat out in the sea on your own, if you're going out fishing or something like that.
Wouldn't you want them small little yachts? No way.
That's what I'm saying.
No,
That's exactly what I'm saying.
Fishing boats?
Yeah, like
small yachts.
Like a little one that you just say you can hire out at say a boat or something like that and you paddle it yourself.
If you haven't got all the safety procedures there with you and the people who know what to do, then you're asking for trouble.
Sure. Okay, would you get into a canoe?
No, absolutely not.
With a life jacket on?
No way.
Man, I have a little two-seater canoe.
It turns over.
Yeah, you go in the water, but you have a life preserver on.
Right, if that canoe turns over,
you're in the water.
How fast can you get out of it?
No, you're in the water straight away.
No, you're in the water. Your face is in the water, not your feet.
Yeah.
Yes. How fast can you get out of the canoe?
What do you mean, like?
I've never been in one.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
I don't like the look of them.
Some of them have like
your feet. Did you know legs not fit into that canoe? No.
Yeah, some of them are open and some of them are closed. The ones that are open, you can just get out straight away.
Oh, is that right?
Some of them are closed over and they have like a little plastic sheet across you to
keep
keep
the
the water
them
out. Yeah, well, you have a little grip at the front. You can pull it and you're literally out in half a second. Yeah, they're not solid now.
No, I wouldn't like them.
It's like a little rubber. It's like a little rubber skirt that goes across.
So there's nothing to tie you in there, basically.
It's not. You're not tied in, no, because you need to be able to. You need to be able to get out if it capsizes.
Yeah, obviously, yes. But I've often wondered.
Would you do it?
No, I wouldn't. I've often
I
wondered.
thought you said you weren't afraid of ships.
No, that's a canoe. You didn't say anything about a canoe.
Or boats. It's like a little boat.
Right. A ship. I love sailing on ships. A boat. I would class the boat as a ship. Simple. But if you're talking about a little fisherman's boat, you won't be getting me on that.
You've often wondered what?
No, I said you won't be getting me on it.
Yeah, but you also said I often wondered.
I've often wondered why these canoes, like people's legs are fully in the canoe.
Yeah, because it helps you with your posture.
So I was often thinking then if it tumbled over, how long does it take to get you out of it?
You have a little kind of quick release thing that you pull, like a little handle, and
Yeah.
you're popped out straight away. You're under the water. You can stay under the water if you want in it and try and right yourself up.
Wouldn't make no sense, would it?
There's a little technique you can do by push down on the paddle and throw your hips over.
Maybe somebody who's well trained.
I've done it when I was a teenager. We trained up on the Liffey, and you're in big fast water, what's called white water, where it's not just flowing water. It's like bubbles and waves, and it's
Yeah, but both the ship in general, I like. Yeah, I like that because it's big and it's safe. That's what I
so
think.
you associate big and safe.
Yeah, when a big
If that
plane,
ship goes down, it's going down.
Yeah, but you have a better chance.
Did you see the ones where they leave the back door open on?
God forbid, it wouldn't take as long.
God.
It wouldn't take as long to go down. Yeah, the back door.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the water's pushing back the way, you see. So if the ship is going forward, it means the water's only pushing back.
No. This one was in the harbour. I think it was in somewhere in Northern Europe, and it was like a car ferry as well.
Yeah.
And they left the back door open in the car ferry, and the thing went down.
Did you see talk about ships? Did you see the big ship that there was what do you call it? The police in what's the name of the country? I don't think it was China. Some country anyway. The police they seized a ship belonged to a billionaire, right? He never went back to claim the ship, and now the ship is costing them like something like 900,000. No, sorry, 90. I think it's 90,000. I'm confused now. I think 90,000 a month for them to look after the ship.
Just to have it in dock.
They have the ship seized, basically.
Yeah.
But they still have to maintain the ship.
Because there's like huge, big diesel engines in
This thing is massive. It's actually a yacht. It's the biggest yacht in the world.
I've seen one when I was up in...
And they have to have 20 men every single day on this ship maintaining it. And now it's costing them at this moment. It's costing them 7 million to buy up to now, having that ship seized.
Oh, in fees and maintaining it. So when I was up in Belfast Harbour last year, we took a little journey. We were going to head up to Scotland, but we didn't. We went around to Rathlin Island. But on the way back, we seen a couple of super yachts.
Yes.
And they're like Formula 1 cars on the water. And so we'd seen a couple of them because Belfast would be a popular enough place for some of these big yachts to pull into. But you're talking mental money. 5 million, 10 million, 20 million. And these things are they're basically like spaceships on the water.
You're talking Conor McGregor money, yeah.
Like that, yeah, but these are even bigger. They're like spaceships.
Yes.
One of them was the fella who owned the biggest such and such a company in the whole of Australia or whatever like that. Yeah. And he was sailing up in Belfast Harbour. So you can get on the little screen, it'll come up and it'll tell you what the boat is, and it'll give you the details and all that, and you can look up all the details.
And what did you do? Did you go up out to the middle of every one of them in your canoe?
I went up. I was actually. I'd recommend it to anybody. I'd recommend it to you on. This was like a 50-foot, pleasure yacht or whatever like that.
Are you allowed to go on them? Yeah.
Yeah, well, my mate owns one, and he brought me out. We went out for about a week. Me and my brother and another mate of mine.
Yeah, I remember that.
But we were out, you head north up towards Rathlin Island for a day or two, do whatever you have to do and come back. It's the most peaceful experience. And it's as safe as anything.
But it's not everybody's into that though, is it?
No, but I would recommend it for you.
For starters.
For somebody who likes ships but doesn't like canoes, I'd recommend 2 days doing it. It's just peaceful because you're only tipping along at, 5 knots an hour.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's amazing, and you're out in the weather and all that. That's what I like about it.
Do you like good weather or bad weather, Tommy?
I've started to appreciate all weather now.
Do you?
Yeah, good, bad, or ugly. Like yesterday, it was a lovely day. I was out sunbathing and doing my yoga outside the house and all that. And today, it was pissing raining, and I'm appreciating both of them.
So if it's raining, do you get annoyed or just fed up? Or,
No, I used to, but now.
Or does it change the mood?
I was in the sea swimming today and it was raining.
Well, you're going to get one mood or so.
You're going to get wet anyway.
You're going to get wet in there, so that wouldn't make a difference.
So whatever the weather is.
Me personally, it was. I think I told you this before, did I, in our last podcast a few times back.
Go on.
If it's teeming rain, I love it. If it's frost, I love it. If it's sunshine, I love it even better, obviously. But I never have a problem no matter what type of the weather is. Honestly. Now, I know you mightn't believe that because...
No, I'm the same.
I just wake up in the morning, I bless my face, and if it's raining or hail or snow or sunshine, I just say, thank God for another day.
I'm the same, but I have the luxury of a car and a house. I can only imagine if you're sleeping rough or if you're standing at a bus stop for 2 hours waiting on a bus to go to Donegal and it's raining.
I understand that it's not convenient for, I know that for people basically, as you said, if they're waiting on a bus or something and it's teeming rain, naturally it's not convenient, without a doubt.
Yeah, but generally any weather that I get.
Like
so what are you going to do? You're only kind of drive yourself mad going, oh, it's fucking raining again.
Giving heat to it.
We're living in Ireland. Like.
Yeah, I know fellas that gets completely fed up just because it's raining.
I think them fellas have a long old journey left.
I know that. Make the best of it no matter what it is. Whether it's raining or it's dry, just enjoy it anyway. I'm not saying go out, strip off your shirt and go in the teams of rain like and run up and down the rain. I'm not saying that. Do you know what I like? I like the misty rain. I love it. Because what I do...
I've had to get an image of you in a t-shirt and a pair of shorts out in the misty rain.
In the team rain. The heavy rain.
Would you be wearing a pair of shorts now in the summer?
Probably knowing my luck, some dog would take running off to be following me.
Would you be wearing a pair of shorts? Would I ever see Martin Stokes in a pair of shorts?
Maybe knee-length shorts, that's all.
Yeah.
Yeah, so how would you see me going down in shorts?
That's what I'm asking you.
Yeah, but like they're down to be just sort of past my knees.
Never above the knee, no?
Uncomfortable. No, I can't.
You wouldn't show the knee off?
No, they look stupid, honestly. I know.
I'm going to get you in a pair of shorts.
No, if I'm wearing shorts in the summertime, it's a pair of trainers.
So if you're over in Spain and you're in a swim pool or something like that, what are you wearing?
What am I wearing?
Yeah. Not knee-length shorts, because you look totally ridiculous.
I'd wear shorts, basically, yeah.
Like football shorts?
Any shorts top, not short shorts.
Not like the budgie smugglers?
No. In the summertime, if I was over down now, say like some Magic Ori that now, yeah, I'd wear shorts just below the knees where it's nice and comfortable. I could not wear shorts.
If you were in a swimming pool though, you're wearing football shorts.
Well, generally in a swimming pool, you'd wear what you call swimming trunks.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're fairly long. I wouldn't go on these skin-tight shorts like in Egypt. Don't you wear in a swimming pool?
I have worn them. I've no problem wearing them.
No way I wouldn't wear them. If I was getting paid, I wouldn't wear them.
I'd say some people had paid to look at you in them.
Some people paid to get rid of you with them.
What was the weather like?
Anyway, Dean, what were we saying there, sorry?
What was the weather like up in Knock when you were there?
Beautiful. Absolutely.
That's what I'm imagining in my head. It's lovely out.
Now, when I say beautiful, I told you earlier on, I enjoy the rain, I enjoy the sun, I enjoy the snow, I enjoy the frost. I enjoy all types of weather. But no, if you're going somewhere like that, being honest about it, it's nice to see the bit of sunshine because it sort of helps you to relax more, especially if there's kids with you.
You can hang around a little bit more as well.
You're not getting... Like, don't get me wrong, if you go to Knock and it's raining, then you're really going to be indoors. It's not a problem, but you're going to be indoors. But if you want to be outdoors and it's raining, then you can't be, can you? But depending on what kind of clothing you wear, and also again the misty rain. I love the misty rain. It's just something special about it. I don't know what it is. Like if I'm in home now on the evenings, I could be watching television or it could be whatever I'm doing. Just say chill now. I don't know. I'm not a big television fan anyway, but I know if I hear the rain, I'm going straight away look for my coat, get out. It's just that lovely feeling to get out in the fresh air and maybe a small little walk on it. There's something just, what would you call it, therapeutic about, is it? There's something special about it.
Yeah, it's something
I love it.
It's something I'm going to embrace now that I'm living up in the Cooley Peninsula because it's a lot of rain up there. Just because it's 90 kilometres north of Dublin.
Yeah, but don't get lost in the forest.
It's a bit wetter and all up there. Oh, actually, I was on a forest walk up there the other day and I was listening to an amazing chat.
Go back to Knock for 2 minutes anyway, right?
1 second.
No, we're going back to Knockin.
Ryan Tubridy
We're going back to Knock.
talking to Christy Dignam, and it's probably his
Did you
last
listen
ever
to that?
interview. Oh my God. It was amazing.
I listened to it.
I was climbing a mountain the other day listening to it.
Oh, were you?
Oh, through a forest. It was stunning.
Yeah, I came across that on the Google, basically.
Oh, it broke my heart.
It was
It blew
actually
my
good.
mind, and it was amazing.
It was a good interview, believe it or not.
I love the honesty, the vulnerability, and a bit of banter, a bit of laughing as well.
Now, I have a good friend,
Yeah.
a very good friend, who's very, very good friends with Christy Dignam.
Mm.
And we were actually chatting about it last week. And like he told me basically he's not well, like, you know.
Yeah. But I think we
he sounded very strong in the podcast.
Yeah, absolutely. So we all eventually
I feel like Ryan Tubridy was sort of taking it easy on him. Like, did you pass heed of that?
Yeah, I definitely don't think he was grilling him. I think he realised the poignancy of the moment he had with Christy.
It wouldn't have been like to be grilling him now, be honest about it.
But I think we all
potentially
can get to a point in our lives where we can be as honest with ourselves as Christy was. It'd be a good place for us.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
He's a good man.
Although he was afraid, he realised where he was.
That's right.
You know?
The bit where I sort of, well, I thought it was great in a way, because as you say about his honesty, where he was saying about his front room where people walk up and down past on the street.
It's a lovely moment.
But it was sad though. It was good for him to see it, but sad at the same time. Where he was saying that when he sees people walking up and down, he sort of realises that he cannot do that no more.
So he's a perfect example for somebody who has a different belief.
Yeah.
Yeah. And he said like he has Buddhist friends and Native American friends. Yeah. And he said the way they explained to me was, you know, you're going home to nirvana. You know what I mean? No matter what way you pair it, we're all going back to the same place.
Let's say he had a powerful sense of humour in it, hadn't he? Like he wasn't doing much complaining or nagging or giving out. Like he seemed to be facing it straightforward.
I think he's explored all of those other stuff in all his songs.
Yeah, the one thing that I got out of it was also that he was still holding on there. Like I know he was there was a part of it there where he said about 10 years ago he got sick.
And he said, give
him
10 years.
Give him 10 years.
Yeah.
So then he made a bit of a joke. He's any chance he could throw another 10 in.
Give us a couple more there.
That was good. That was nice. But at the same time, I was thinking he's holding on there. He's genuinely clinging on there. He's not giving up.
Yeah.
And that was a good part of it. Like.
Yeah, it was nice. Go home, Christy. Go home.
Poor old Christy, yeah.
Huh? He's a lovely conversation. So you wanted to go back to Knock. What were you saying?
Legend. No, I was saying about Knock anyway. You were asking me about the weather. The weather was lovely. Yeah, absolutely. It was a nice, bright day.
And did you just hang around much after?
It gave people that much more opportunity to be outside also, doing the things that they can do outside. Like
out in nature.
Like we would, when we finished that mass then, the big mass at 3 o'clock, we'd done the stations of the cross then, the 14 stations. So that was that there. Having good weather to do that is great. It's a great opportunity if the weather is like the outside stations are weather permitted, like, you know what I mean? So that was another bonus, you might say. So in the end then, when everybody's finished, of course they go to the shops and buy little bits and pieces, souvenirs and stuff like that. And in the end then, when everybody's completely finished, all in the car, ready to go, I go back into the church, two of the churches. The church of Our Lady at the gable end, the old church. And I'll just kneel down for a couple of minutes and I'll just say thank you to Our Lady for absolutely everything. That's before I go. And then I'll go into the other little church, the old church, and I'll do exactly the same thing. I give thanks and praise to God for absolutely everything in my life and in my family's lives, for all the gifts and graces that He has blessed and bestowed upon us. I always do that every time I go to knock. I always do that at the end, before I leave. And I find great consolation in that, if you know what I mean. I find something very special about that little bit. So you're not forgetting to say thank you. That's the one most important thing, is one of the most important things, is to always say thank you. And I have a firm belief in that.
Thank you for the music.
Thank you for the music. Abba said that, wouldn't I?
That was a little beauty. Yeah. So then you're back on the
road.
That
was interesting. And then after that then, back on the road. And what we do then, on the way home again, we'd stop in Longford. Now, my father-in-law, he's, God rest him, he's buried in Longford. And say my brother-in-law, Martin, God rest him, and my other brother-in-law, my oldest sister's husband, basically, he'd be buried beside his father in Longford. And say my father-in-law, God rest him, he's, say him and my brother-in-law, basically Martin, his son, obviously, he's just a couple of graves down, buried in the same cemetery, like,
Lovely.
you know what I mean? So, like, 9 times out of 10, if I'm passing by Longford for any reason, we go in there, we stop at the graves, throw a little drop of holy water around, do a few prayers, visiting the graves, like, you know. And then if at times then we're not passing there, we have no reason to be down there, we just make a time and a date for to go down there, to make it our business to go to Longford, like. And same again, go in and visit the graves and do some prayers and, you know, some holy water. It'll be yeah, but that's what we've been doing for years and years and years now. Something 20 years.
Knocking on heaven's door.
So Longford would be our halfway point going to Knock.
Lovely, yeah.
And also
It's good to do that, to get off the motorway, break up the
back from
journey.
Knock. Come back from Knock, then we stop in Longford again.
Bit of grub.
Yeah, but you stop at a different place in Longford, like, you know.
Yeah.
Like you're going on your way down, it's different type of food. Different because it's morning time kind of. So on the way home it's evening. So naturally they're looking for a different type of food, you know what I mean? So but the main thing is that when you hit Longford, then you're halfway home then. You can chill out and relax. Because half your driving is done, you know what I mean?
I'd say the journey from Knock to Longford, you're still all in the feelings of it, and you're going through your head and your heart. Yeah.
No, I'm like that for days and days after. So I'm like that now.
Look at you like the car who got the cream,
I love
huh?
it. The thing about when you're finished with Knock is that you're just looking forward to the next time you're going down. I'm the same way with Lourdes. I'm going to Lourdes now in 3 weeks.
Are you? Yeah.
Yeah, myself, say the wife and kids, me 2 sons and their 2 wives. We're all going to Lourdes for a week.
When's the last time you were in Lourdes?
Last July. Yeah, July, yeah.
And how long will you go for?
I'm going for a week now.
Oh, lovely.
And what I'm doing then, 4 months after that, I'm going to Medjugorje. And this time I'm going for 10 days. So
You hate yourself, don't you?
tickets are paid for, everything's all done.
Oh, look at you, big
Done
smile.
and dusted. Wow.
And you get in the canoe
The
over
good
to
thing about
Lourdes.
getting your tickets paid for more or less months beforehand is because it's a lesser bill.
It's boxed off.
When
yeah,
you
yeah,
go
yeah.
there, it's boxed off. It's a lesser bill when you get there.
Yeah, yeah.
You just need a few pop for spending the money and a bit of food
How
or
are you
whatever.
getting the Lourdes in the canoe?
We're going not the big boat, the smaller boat.
Yeah.
The fisherman's boat. So we're flying to Lourdes. I went to Lourdes one time, I was telling you, was I? I went to Lourdes one time, I drove. We got the boat from Wexford over, and it was 19 hours on the boat. Do you remember the time I was telling you on the podcast about the small cabins?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, yeah.
When I start getting sort of this phobia thing coming over me.
I think you've got to think about small spaces. You're right saying about the small plane.
Yeah,
and
that's
the small
right.
cabin.
I have, but I don't like to admit it. But also,
What about the confession box? That's tiny.
no, wait for a second. The thing about it is, right, the confession box is where I meet Jesus, so I know I'm safe.
You're home.
I'm home and dry and safe. But the small space in the boat, yes, but I hate to show it. I don't like to admit I have but what I do is
Why did you hate to show it?
I don't know. I kind of have.
To who?
No, you're not listening. It's something that I sort of take easy, and I try to suss it out. Know what I'm saying?
You don't want to show yourself.
So
You're
if
scared.
if I don't, I can almost say that I go into a panic.
You're convincing yourself you're not scared, so you won't get scared.
Yeah, but I have to be strong. You see, that's where. So what happens then? Before I know, then I'm over it. So for the first few moments, I would say first probably 5-10 minutes. That's how I feel.
What are you like in the porta, Lou?
So I'm not the best chatter. I'm not. I know me. I'm looking around. I'm literally observing everything around me. The best way of saying it. But I'm holding me. I'm holding me peace, as we call it. I'm trying to. again, I'm trying to not panic. Also, if there's people around me, I'm trying not to let them see that I'm actually, made a little bit scared here.
Big man scared.
So, but after that, give me 10 minutes, and I'm the toughest man in the plane or the ship, whatever it might be
There's
on.
nothing tough about you. Give it over.
No, but I'm just saying, like, I feel like I'm not afraid anymore.
Yeah,
that kind
yeah,
of way.
yeah. What are you like in the Portaloo?
I wasn't talking about fighting. I was just saying simply,
What are you like in the Portaloo?
I've not been in a Portaloo.
What?
We have toilets in the site, honestly. We have
No, like, have you never been in the Portaloo ever, like on a site or in a festival or something like that?
Yeah, when I went to visit the Pope in Croke Park.
There you go. What are you like in that?
I've never really. The only thing about it is, you see, if I've actually seen what do you call it? I seen a WhatsApp there about 3 months ago. Yeah, it sounds funny, but it shouldn't be. And there was 3 lads out working doing gardening, and one of them went across the road and used the Portaloo, and 2 of the other lads, one that came behind it, and pushed it forward.
Nah.
Oh,
spilled
man.
it over
Some country happened.
all that blue stuff.
They were out doing roadworks, and he went in to use it, and they pushed the thing out on top of him. It was crazy. Oh man, it was a disgrace. Absurd. Like, just think about it, like, huh? Crazy. But anyway, small spaces, but mainly plane or now the normal ship going to England, like say from Dublin here. No, not a bother. There's no small spaces in that you have to be. You just get on in this. That's it. The only thing about the other ship where we were going to France was because they wanted to get as many people onto it as they could, naturally, and that's why they were making the cabins so small, and you had this big long corridor, and every step I was taking, the breath was getting shorter. I'm telling you now. I want to say I was ready to just make a run for it. But it didn't happen anyway, thank God, and we got there safe. But that's the crack anyway with the boats and the planes and whatever. Oh, the lotto. Would you ever wish to win the lotto? I meant to ask you that once or twice. I know you're well in there in the money and all that, but
I'm actually, like, I had this conversation with my mate last night. I'm not motivated by money.
serious.
Yeah, I'm not motivated whatsoever by money. Although you obviously need to pay your bills, and when you look at your bank account and there's only a few £100 and you know you've 4 or 5 bills coming up, you kind of get a little bit panicky. Like, I could do, if I looked at my bank account and there's £2,000 in there and I've got a month, I'm like, I'm all right. I can go with this. I've no interest in hundreds of millions of quid. Obviously, if anybody won the lotto, you've got things that you might do, help your family out, or pay off a mortgage, or this and that.
Yes.
I try and I try and run a lean operation as much as possible, and I don't do the lotto. I don't gamble. I don't bet.
Do you not?
No, I've no interest in it.
Did you ever do the lotto?
Obviously, I've done the lotto. I think you have a lotto app on your phone. I think I've got 30 quid in the lotto app, but I've no interest. I'd say once every 5 years, I get a little bit of excited. They do a big Euro Millions or something like that, and I might throw a 10 or a 20 quid in it.
All right.
You could bring me to the Grand National. You could bring me to any event like that. I'm not interested in any of it.
Same as that. I don't have a big interest in gambling.
And I know, well, we all know the horror stories when people win 100 million quid and it drives them absolutely mental.
That's right, yeah.
And so my belief, my interest is not in money. It's not in power. It's not in property. It's in humanity, in people, in nature, in love. Peace and love. Yeah. That's all I'm interested in. Yeah. Morning, noon and night.
Well, I have to say, Dean, that I wouldn't be interested in the lotto. I wouldn't be interested in winning it because I don't play it anyway to win it in the first place. I remember years and years ago, there was a little nun and she used to pray. She actually used to tell us this. We were only young anyway. And she said, pray every day for the travellers never to win the lottery.
Oh, right. I was gonna slag her there and say she has her wires crossed.
No,
she
honestly
wanted the travellers to win the lotto.
No, she'd pray never to win.
Because it would corrupt you.
Yeah, she believed that it was destroying people's lives. But it was a known fact any day that the lottery was destroying people's lives. Because it was causing problems in families. It was causing separations between men and women. It was actually causing more financial difficulties. Some people that won the lotto actually ended up skint, but also own money.
Yeah, in mental health institutions.
Because they did not know how to.
And with addiction and all that type of stuff.
They didn't have a clue how to manage it, naturally, because it was a big, exciting thing for them.
They just see it as money, but actually, if you want to hold on to it, you have to treat it like wealth, and you have to invest it. You can't just spend it.
Yeah, but also it brought them to the understanding that money didn't bring them happiness. They thought it did, but it did for a while. But then it started.
That's what I'm saying to you at the start. If the fella believes in the Ferraris or the big houses or the gold watches or whatever, if that's where his belief is, that's his journey. And everyone has to go on their own little journey.
That's right.
On my journey, I'm after realising quite young, so I'm thankful for that, is that inner peace, connection with yourself, with whatever spirituality you're into, with whatever partner you have in the world, with whatever family you have in the world, you can't buy any of that.
No. Do you know what I've often noticed now, and it wouldn't probably happen every day. I've often done. Now you might say to me, "What are you talking about?" I mightn't be able to point it out. I've often done the simplest things in life, and I'd be 10 times happier than trying to do, say, something that I might have thought was more important, if you like. If it makes any sense.
Yeah, you're doing something that's small and meaningful.
Small and simple, yes.
Yeah.
But you wouldn't realise it. And afterwards, you'd realise like how that what you just done earlier on, how happy you were doing it. And it could be any foolish thing. Could be any foolish thing. But to set out there and try to how would you call it? Try to work on something or conquer something. And there can be a lot of pressure involved. A lot of pressure. A lot of distractions and disruptions. Maybe sometimes problems probably come out of it. And you realise then what it was all about. But the simpler things in life are the most happiest moments.
Keep it simple, stupid.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I done it the other day. There's a room up in the house that I'm living in. It hasn't been painted for a while. There was wallpaper. There was carpet down.
Yeah.
So I stripped all the carpet, took the wallpaper down, and just start painting the walls.
Yeah.
And it was the simplest thing in the world, but I fell in love with it.
If we're happy doing it.
It was like a meditation doing it.
Yeah, absolutely.
I wasn't worried about the time. I wasn't worried about finishing it. All I was let's get it started and it'll be finished soon enough.
Yes.
But let's not get too worried about it.
I've often done that, something as simple as just tidying up around on the outside of the yard, putting things in place and moving stuff around, maybe getting rid of bits and pieces. And sometimes it could take 2 hours to do that.
So finding that is winning the lotto for me.
And I'm the same way, because why? It was like you were thinking about nothing else. You weren't worried about anything. You were letting nothing distract you. You were just focused on these small little bits and pieces that needed to be done. And now that they're out of the way, you have your peace of mind at the same time. So yeah, that's what I find in little things like that.
Yeah, and if you think 100 grand is going to make you happier, and then, £1 million won't make you 10 times happier.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think if you can find happiness when you have brass tacks,
yes,
you're onto a winner.
I honestly do think that everybody needs a few bob every now and again, because for certain things in life, of course,
you owe me some money.
I know that.
Oh, Martin, I'm so happy that I remember that.
If
you owe me a few quid.
If you had £1 million, yeah, you just said money doesn't give you happiness.
Woo, this is happening me all day.
If you just said money doesn't bring you happy, yeah. Now you just said I owe you money.
Money can't
and
buy
you got all
you
excited
love,
about. How's
buy
that?
Me love. All the songs today.
Who sings that? The Beatles.
What was that one I was singing? Who sings that one? Knock, knock, knocking on heaven's door.
I know. I heard the song before, but I don't know who sings it.
Did you before you sing it?
No, they don't know.
Knock, knock, knocking on heaven's door.
No,
that's a little cracker.
Some rock band sings that, is it?
Knock, knock, knocking on heaven's door.
It's not Smokey. I don't think Smokey sings it.
Anyway, that's us, episode 39.
So episode 39, we're done now, are we? So we're out of here.
Someone's knocking on the door.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Well, then it's time to go home then, is it?
See you later. See you on the road. I might set up a Patreon.
I don't see you I don't see you through the window, is it?
I don't see you through the week.
I see you through the window.
I might set up a Patreon. I'm thinking about setting up a Patreon so people can pay for the podcast.
Yes.
Help us along the way. But I'll think about it. Anyway, I
If
enjoyed
that doesn't work, we get 2 hats. We'll go down to O'Connell Street.
and we'll bang out the tunes.
I just put the feet going, you do the singing. I do the tapping on the feet, yeah? And the 2 hats out.
Nothing never comes easy. Nothing never comes easy.
So that's us for this episode. A Traveller and a Countryman podcast. If you like it, let us know. Share it around. And we'll see you on the road.